Well, we have an interesting story going on in Toronto, the largest city in Canada. The mayor of Toronto, Rob Ford, has been accused of smoking crack cocaine. And we have a reporter from the Toronto Sun, Daniel Dale, is on the phone, and he's going to tell us all about this. Daniel, how are you?
Good. How are you? I actually work for the Toronto Star, not the Sun.
The Toronto Star. Oh my gosh, boy!
To be here.
Blasphemy, blasphemy! I should have known that.
I forgive you.
Yeah. Now, Daniel, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Now, could you set this up for our listeners here in America who might not be quite up to speed on the story, the Rob Ford story?
Yeah, sure. So it's kind of a wild story, as you can imagine. Rob Ford is a extremely unique, extremely colorful figure who has an extremely devoted base that he calls Ford Nation, but has gotten into all sorts of controversies during his 3-year mayoral term so far. And in May, two of our reporters sat in a car in a parking lot in one of the suburbs in the city, and were shown a 90-second clip that appeared to show Mayor Ford smoking crack, inhaling, lighting up from a glass pipe, and making homophobic and racially charged remarks. So we wrote a story, and just before we wrote our story, the U.S. website Gawker wrote its own story. The editor of Gawker actually came up here to Toronto and saw the same clip and published its own account. So this came out, and
who is showing the clip?
Yeah, this was a man in the local community in one of our suburbs who said that he said his cousin was trying to sell the video, and our reporters insisted that if we were going to even talk about obtaining it from them, we have to see it first.
But my question, Daniel, and I'm sure there's a logical explanation for this, but how is it possible that there can be a video of the mayor of Toronto smoking crack, but the video is not online? Nobody has seen the video. How is that possible in 2013?
No, I know. It's amazing. And I mean, I think what's especially amazing is that until Thursday, it seemed like it might never come out. We had written our stories, and Gawker wrote its story, and then the video vanished, even though Gawker had raised more than $200,000 to try to buy it. So our reporters didn't think it would ever come out, and then
but it still hasn't come out.
It hasn't come out, but the police have it, which we didn't think they did.
But the police said they have it.
The police, yeah. So I guess you could. I mean, if you're
how is it? How do you know it's crack? I know. How do you know it's crack in the glass pipe? What? Maybe you could just be smoking weed.
Yeah, I mean, well, the mayor's lawyer has said that Toronto Star reporters are not experts in watching crack smoking, which I guess is sort of a backhanded compliment. We aren't, but I think many of us know that smoking crack looks different than smoking weed.
How does it look different? I've never smoked crack.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Well, no, I do believe you. The mayor was, it looked like a crack pipe. He lit it up from the bottom. And
so you light it from the bottom? Is that how you do it?
Yes. Again, as the mayor's lawyer said, I am not an expert in watching crack smoking.
But you seem like you know a lot about it, Daniel.
Yeah, I do. Well, I guess I do. You got me. But yeah, so we've said in our stories that it's the mayor appearing to smoke crack. We can't say definitively. You're right.
Okay.
Now, I read that the video was recovered after police arrested Ford's friend. Is that correct?
It's almost correct. So police did arrest his friend, but in a related, they also did sort of a semi-related, this major drug and gun and gang raid where they swept up a lot of people in that neighborhood, including the guy who was trying to sell the video. So they got the video because they apparently took a while to do this, but they went through the hard drives of some of the computers of these people, and they said just on Tuesday, so quite a while later, they recovered this deleted file.
Is it possible that the media, the Canadian media, is being too hard on the mayor?
Well, that's what the mayor says, and that's what his brother, who's a member of the city council and sort of his most feisty ally, was on TV today saying that this is a lynch mob. The media, no politician has ever been treated like this. My argument, and the argument that most of the media has made, is that we're just covering what this, very unique, unusual guy does. And, if he is appearing in a video where he seems to be smoking crack, yeah, we're going to write, big stories about that.
It crossed over into the American consciousness. I know Jimmy Kimmel was talking about it. It was on Gawker, like you said. Do you think that kind of fuels it? Do you think the Canadian media gets a little, oh boy, they're making us look kind of silly up here in Toronto. We better grill this guy.
That was a good Toronto media voice.
Yeah. I'm from Ontario there, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think there's always a Canadian fascination with, what our big brother American friends think of us. But I think this would be just as big if Kimmel and Letterman and The Daily Show were not talking about it at all. The mayor appearing to smoke crack is an objectively huge thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I mean, he did it in the privacy of his own crack house, right? Supposedly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know you're being funny, but it's interesting how many conservatives have suddenly seemed to become more libertarian about
let him smoke a little crack now and then. He's our crack smoker.
Yeah. Well, we hear that a lot. What he does in his private time is his business. I don't know if the majority of the population thinks that, but a substantial percentage of the population does.
But he did openly come out on a radio show yesterday, was it, and admitted that he has a substance abuse problem, an alcohol problem. Is that the case? Or
not quite, actually. So this is a scandal about this apparent crack video and his apparent connections to drug dealers and other allegedly shady characters. All he apologized for was being drunk twice in public in the last couple of years. Once
you have to apologize for being drunk in public?
Apparently, for the mayor of Toronto, you do.
Where else are you supposed to get drunk?
Well, his brother advised him
by yourself.
At home by yourself? That sounds like a real problem.
Yeah.
His brother advised him to drink alone in his basement.
Okay, yeah. What's wrong with going out to the bar and having a couple of beers?
A lot of people would say that. These two instances, once was a wild party at City Hall in his office on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
And one was at a very popular street festival.
Yeah, here's the quote. I shouldn't have gotten hammered down at the Danforth Festival.
Isn't that the kind of thing, though, that, he's a likable guy, obviously. He got elected mayor. Sure. He went out with the people and had a few drinks at a festival on the street. Yeah. Isn't that what you want? Don't you want the mayor to be able to go out and have a couple of beers with his constituents?
You know what? A lot of people say that. He's a regular guy. He knows how to have fun. He's not stuck up. He's, a man of the people. That's a large part of his popularity. So,
do you ever feel, or do you think the media ever feels bad about chasing this guy down as hard as they are? Do you ever feel bad?
No. I never feel bad. I don't think we, often it looks like we're chasing him, and we are chasing him because he won't just have a press conference, take half an hour, answer all our questions, and then we don't have to follow him around. If the mayor is appearing in a video where he appears to smoke crack and he won't talk about it, we're going to follow him everywhere and until he answers these questions that a lot of people want answered. So no, I don't feel bad.
Didn't the mayor come out and call on the police to release this video?
Yeah.
And why then why hasn't it been released? If that's what he wants, why would they not do that?
Yeah, I mean our editorial board, which is often at odds with Mayor Ford, has also called for the chief to release it. The chief's argument is that it's part of a court proceeding because Mayor Ford's friend, the accused drug dealer, has now been charged with extortion for allegedly threatening the gang members to try to get the video back or get the video. So the chief's argument is that it can only come out through the courts. He basically doesn't want to, cause a mistrial or affect, this man's opportunity for a fair trial.
Do you think people in Toronto, though, kind of think it's cool that it gets mentioned on Jimmy Kimmel and on The Daily Show? They're like, oh, check it out. Our mayor's on The Daily Show. I mean, sure, it's about some sort of a crack scandal, but still cool. Like, they're talking about us.
We do, like, I don't think people think it's cool. But
A little cool, though.
No, I'm not.
A little bit cool, just a little bit. Because I know when I was growing up in Canada, whenever anything got mentioned about my hometown, Ottawa, which was rare in the American media, it was very, very exciting. You would almost overlook if the negative implications of it.
I'll go for exciting. I think it's exciting and sort of a surreal.
Like we're a big city. We've got crack. We've got drugs.
Yeah, exactly that. That's what people are thinking.
Well, what is the public? Ford said he's not stepping down no matter what. He was elected in 2010. He said he's going to serve out his 4-year term.
Yeah.
He said the quote was, "I'll be running the ship even if it's by myself."
Yeah.
What is the general public? What is the feeling? Do people want him out, or are people siding with him?
Yeah.
It's so hard to say. We had a snap poll like the night that all this happened, and here were the two big findings. One finding was that he had a 44% approval rating, which was up slightly from the poll a week before, which is remarkable. But the other finding was that 60% of people thought he should resign. So how you reconcile those two numbers, I don't know. There's clearly, people love him, clearly, and people clearly have big problems with what he's done.
Is he a good mayor? I mean, putting this aside, does he do his job effectively?
It's like I'm a reporter, so I'm not supposed to be too opinionated. He certainly has accomplishments. Like he had these landmark deals with our municipal unions. He just got succeeded in getting this big subway that a lot of people wanted, although others didn't. He's also had a remarkable number of weird controversies like we've never seen before. He has lost important votes at city council like previous mayors never really have. And his agenda is quite limited. You know, he cares about cutting budgets and cutting spending and things like that, but doesn't have a lot of ambitions in terms of the type of city building that a lot of people in Toronto would like to see. So people are really split about him depending on what their political philosophies are.
What do you think's going to happen here? Do you think the video's going to come out? Do you think we're going to get to see this supposed crack smoking mayor video?
Yeah, I'm newly optimistic after Thursday. I mean, the chief says it'll come out in court.
You're optimistic about it?
I'm optimistic, yeah.
So you're kind of excited about it?
I think I am excited to see it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
as
it's kind of fun to see it.
Yeah.
Would you be disappointed if there was no video? Like if it was just like the Sasquatch, it was just the Snuffleupagus,
Nessie,
it's just sort of this
chupacabra.
This rumored crack video does not even exist.
You know what? For like a lot of the city, for all these 6 months or whatever it's been, has believed the mayor. He said it didn't exist. So no, it exists. It's real.
I don't believe in it.
It's real.
I don't believe in the mayor smoking crack video. I don't believe it exists.
It exists.
I think it's. I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I think it's one of those things. We're all going to be surprised. We're all going to be surprised. We're going to find out. No. I don't think it exists.
All right.
I don't think so. I don't think so. In this day and age, in 2013, somebody would have leaked it.
Well, you know what? There's not a lot of not a lot of police leaks in Toronto, and these are alleged members of a gang.
Yeah, but you don't think one of the gang members who shot it would have put it up on his Facebook?
Oh, who knows, right?
You know, they might not have. You think? You never know.
I'm not an expert in the psychology of gang members either.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly a very intriguing story. And an interesting story, and it's got Toronto in the international news. Maybe not for the right reasons, but still exciting.
I guess.
Still exciting.
Yes,
Daniel,
sure.
Hey Daniel, thanks for coming on the show and putting this in perspective for all of us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Take care.
Yeah, thank you.
you.
Daniel Dale from the Toronto Star, and wild things going up there in Canada. We've got metropolis-type cities up there. There's gangs in Canada. It's a cool country. We got all sorts of stuff.
Who knew?
Yeah, there's guns and violence up there, murders, crack, everything, yeah. All the stuff that they have in America. Yeah, no, it's cool. Canada's cool, man. You should check it out sometime. If you haven't gone up to Canada and had a visit, go have a look. It's pretty.
Feels like home.
It's happening, man.
Wow.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.